Hello students, so today we will discuss amine. So we'll be starting a new chapter, that is amine. Okay, now how to identify amine. So generally you can classify or you can identify amine if you have one alkyl or aryl group bonded to NH2, or if there are two alkyl or aryl group, or if there are three alkyl or aryl group. Okay, now these are amines, means nitrogen will be there and it will be either bonded to alkyl or aryl group. Okay, now what is the meaning of alkyl? Here R stands for alkyl. Alkyl has a general formula CnH2n plus 1. Okay, that's the general formula of alkyl that you already know. Now aryl is usually denoted by Ar, and it's also called aryl, and it is also called phenyl, and its formula is fixed, that is C6H5 dash. Okay, or you can also draw it in this way. Alright, so that's how we classify, or that's how we can identify that the given compound is amine or not amine. Okay, now if I give you some example, so suppose I am giving CH3 CH2 and is bonded with NH2. Okay, now another example is, let's say I am giving one benzene ring, right? Not benzene ring, actually is phenyl, that is this one, and is bonded with NH and it is bonded with CH2 CH3. Okay, clear? Now another example can be, I can give one benzene ring here and then CH, like, then CH3, then NH and CH3. So this is also an amine compound. Basically anything, if any alkyl or aryl group, if it is connected to nitrogen, that is having one hydrogen, two hydrogen or no hydrogen, that is amine. Now there is one common confusion, that is what is alkyl. Alkyl is, in simple terms, alkyl is carbon and hydrogen compound. Okay, that doesn't, like, carbon and hydrogen compound which is not benzene ring. So it can be this one also, like if I talk about alkyl, CH3 CH2, something like this. So this is alkyl, so it does not have any benzene ring, right? It can be cyclic structure also, like this one, this is also alkyl, right? Or it can, like, in simple terms, if it is not phenyl group, that is benzene ring, this one, if it is not phenyl group, that is benzene ring, then we can say that the particular compound is alkyl compound. Okay, like for simplicity. Now if we talk about classification of amine, there are three types of amine. One is 1 degree, also called primary amine. Another one is 2 degree, also called secondary amine, and another one is 3 degree, also called tertiary amine. Okay, now how to identify this 1 degree? So with nitrogen atom, it will have 2 hydrogen. Okay, and for secondary, with nitrogen atom, it will have 1 hydrogen, and for 3 degree, with nitrogen atom, it will have 0 hydrogen. Okay, so basically in other chapters we have classified primary, secondary and tertiary based on number of alkyls that are directly connected to functional group, right? But for amines it is different. Here we will focus on the number of hydrogens that are present with nitrogen. Now if I give you some example, so let's say I'm giving this, suppose I'm giving CH3 CH2 and NH2. Okay, now if you look carefully, how many, this is the nitrogen part and it has what hydrogen? It has 2 hydrogen, right? Yes or no? So if it has 2 hydrogen, I can say that this amine is 1 degree amine, also called primary amine. Now if I give you this structure, suppose CH3 CH2 NH and something like this. So it does not matter with nitrogen what is connected. The only thing that you have to see is that how many hydrogen does nitrogen have. So here it has 1 hydrogen. So 1 hydrogen means I can say it's a 2 degree amine. Okay, also it's a 2 degree amine. Now if I give one example of 3 degree, suppose I am giving CH3 CH2 N CH3 and then CH3. So I can clearly see that this nitrogen does not have any hydrogen, so it has 0 hydrogen, yes or no? So I can say it's 3 degree amine. Okay, right? Now let's do one question. This is this question. The question is, identify the primary amine among the given option. Okay, so suppose if I give you this option C2H5 3, then second option is C2H5 2 NH, then third option is C2H5 NH2, and then fourth option is CH3 3 times N. Now if I look carefully here, so this you just have to look on nitrogen. Okay, so this one has 0, so it's 3 degree definitely. This one has 1 hydrogen, so I can say it's 2 degree, right? This one again, it does not have any hydrogen, so it's 3 degree. And this one has how many hydrogen? This one has 2 hydrogen, so this is my 1 degree. So my answer will be this one. Alright, I hope it's clear. Now let's do one question. So identify the degree of amines. Okay, so I'll give you some compounds, and that amine compounds, what degree it is, you have to identify. Okay, alright, so suppose first question is question number 1. Say I am giving CH3 twice CHNH2. Okay, now this is the one. So whatever compound is given, it does not matter. I'll just look into the nitrogen, and it has 2 hydrogens, so I can say it's a 1 degree amine, right? Second question is, if I give you this one C2H5 twice NH, so here this one has 1 hydrogen, so I will say it's 2 degree amine. Let's do one more question, third one. Let's say I'm giving CH3 3 times N. So this nitrogen, there is no hydrogen, so I can say it's 3 degree amine. Okay, easy. So with this we are done with the classification of amines, like how to identify primary, secondary and tertiary, also called 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree amine. Okay, next we will be doing, like, there are few note points from which they can ask question. The first note point is bond angle. Bond angle in amine. Basically they are asking the bond angle between carbon, nitrogen, carbon, or carbon, nitrogen and hydrogen. Okay, now what is the meaning of this? So basically if I give you this structure CH3 NH2, if I expand this structure properly, so I can say this is H, H and H, and then this one is nitrogen, this is hydrogen, and this is hydrogen, right? And if I give you another example like CH3 NH and CH3, so here let's draw the structure. N, H, and then C, H, H and H. Okay, so basically here they will ask question like one MCQ based question, like they will be asking what is the bond angle, this one. Okay, this bond angle. Okay, similarly here also this bond angle. Okay, so this bond angle is always less than tetrahedral angle. Tetrahedral angle. Now what is tetrahedral angle? Either they will say it is less than tetrahedral angle or it will be less than 109.5 degree. Okay, and they will ask reason also for that. So what will be the reason for that? The reason is due to the repulsion of lone pair present on nitrogen atom. Okay, so basically if I draw this example CnH2, so usually nitrogen has one lone pair. Okay, it is not shown in this diagram. In this diagram it is not shown, but they have this lone pair, and because of this lone pair they repel the bonds. Okay, and that's why the bond angle is less than tetrahedral angle. So that's the reason for the direct 1 mark question, MCQ based question comes from there. Okay, then another point is second note point, like amines act as nucleophile. Nucleophile means you can say that Lewis base. Okay, the reason is that due to the presence of lone pair on nitrogen atom. So due to the presence of lone pair on nitrogen atom, amines also act as nucleophile. Okay, or also called Lewis base. Alright, now these are the two note points that you have to memorize. Next thing is, next topic heading, common name of amines. Okay, so here we will be doing common name of amine. Common name questions are not asked directly, but they are asked in chemical reactions. Okay, so let's do that. So basically if I give you RNH2, the general form of, or R or whatever, like this one also, yes, or this one also, their common form, like general common name is alkyl and then amine. Okay, so this common name I will classify it as aliphatic amine, and another one will be doing aromatic amine. Okay, right? So before we start, what is aliphatic amine? For simplicity, like just give me one moment, I will explain you the difference between aliphatic and aromatic amine. So if I talk about aliphatic amine, in aliphatic amine the nitrogen that will be connected. Okay, so in simple term, that nitrogen is not directly bonded to phenyl group. Okay, now if I take some examples, suppose CH3, CH2, NH2, these are some of the examples. Or it can be CH3, CH2, NH and CH3. It can be ring structure also, like this one. Okay, but what about aromatic amine? Aromatic amine means nitrogen is directly bonded to phenyl group. Okay, nitrogen is directly bonded to phenyl group means, let's say, you know, this is phenyl group, right? This is the benzene ring, and it will be directly connected, something like this. Or there can be two phenyl group also, one phenyl and one aryl group. But the main thing is that this NH, if it is directly connected to benzene ring, then it is aromatic, but not benzene, sorry, phenyl group, then it is what? It is directly called aromatic amine. Okay, so with this the difference is done. Now let's focus on the common name part. So I have told you that what is the general form of aliphatic amine. So general form is of aliphatic amine is alkyl amine, right? But this alkyl, as we have seen that there are sometimes more than one alkyl present in amine compound, so it has to be written in alphabetical order. It has to be written in alphabetical order. So the letter that appears first, you have to write that name first. Okay, let's do some example so that it can be clear to you. So suppose I am giving you CH3, CH2 and then NH2, right? So here this is the alkyl, and how to name alkyl I have already explained you in class. Alkyl is word root plus YL, yes or no? So if you name it properly, so the name of this one is ethyl, because 2 carbon, ethyl amine, right? Now if I give you this one CH3, CH2, NH and then CH3. So this one I have two parts here, one is this part, another one is this part. So this part is ethyl, so E, and this part is M, methyl. So alphabetically E comes first, I will write the name ethyl and then methyl amine, right? Let me give another example. Suppose I am giving you CH3, N, CH3 and then CH2 and CH3. So here you can see the 3 alkyls are given, so you have to name it. But if you look carefully here, 2 alkyls, that is CH3, CH3 is repeating itself, yes or no? So you know that for repetition what we use? For repetition what we use? For repetition we use di, tri and those things, yes or no? So if it is 2 repetition, then we use di word, right? If it is 3 repetition, then you use tri. If it is 4 repetition, then you use tetra. If 5 repetition is there, means anything is appearing 5 times, then we write penta, yes? Now here this is first thing. Then another thing is that di, tri, iso, neo, pent, sec, this type of names you already know, right? These are the special names. And cyclo are never used in alphabetical arrangement. Are never used in alphabetical . So if they are not used in alphabetical arrangement, so what we will do? So basically this one is methyl M, this one is methyl and this one is ethyl, right? So alphabetically ethyl will come first, so you will write here ethyl, then methyl will be there. Okay, but since methyl is appearing 2 times, I have to use the word di. So that's the thing I'm saying, that although di is used, but we will not be considering the d of di. Okay, clear? Because as per the rule, you cannot consider this di, tri, iso, neo, those things. Okay, and then you will simply write the name amine. Okay, if I give another example, say suppose I am giving you this one. Here I will be including the special structures also. Okay, so overall this one is what? Ethyl, E, right? And this whole thing, it has 4 carbon, so 4 carbon stands for butyl, so B. But if you pay close attention, this shape is what? What is this shape? This one is iso shape or not, right? So here I have to use the word iso, but while writing I will just consider the first letter of the alkyl group, not this special naming iso, neo, tert or di, tri, cyclo, those type of. So I know that butyl comes first, so I will write here butyl, and then I will write here ethyl, and then I will write here amine. Okay, but here I will write iso. Got it? Here I will write what? Iso. Okay, is that clear? I hope it's clear, right? Now next thing is, let me give another question, like all the special structures. Okay, so suppose I am giving CH3, C, CH3, then CH3, CH2, CH2 and NH, then CH2 and CH3. So you already know this shape. What is this shape called? This one is called neo shape, right? So the name of this one will be neo, this special state. But what is the name of this full alkyl? How many carbons are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can say it's hexyl, right? And this one is ethyl. So alphabetically E comes first, so I will write here ethyl. And for this one I will write hexyl, but before hexyl I will be adding the word neo, hexyl, and then amine. Okay, so ethyl, neo, hexyl, amine. That's the answer for this common. Alright, now let's do a few more examples. Let's use one sec structure. So CH3, CH2, C, CH3H, and then NH, and then here you have CH, CH3 and CH3. Okay, now this one you already know that whenever 3 carbons are there, like this side, whenever 3 carbons are there, then, and if at the center carbon anything is substituted, this special shape is called iso. Yes or no? And this one, it's what? It's bonded to 2 degree carbon. So 2 degree will be written as sec structure. So what will be the name of this one? This one will be sec, this side, and this one will be iso. But we will not be consider this iso and sec in alphabetical arrangement, but we will be considering the alkyl name. So this one stands for butyl, B, and this one stands for propyl, so B comes first. So I will write sec and then butyl, because sec is associated with the butyl part, and then this one we will write iso, propyl, amine. Okay, so with this we are done with the common name of aliphatic amine. Now we will be doing common name of aromatic amine. Let's start. Under common name of aromatic amine, we will study 2 categories. Okay, so let's do type 1. So in type 1, you have to remember that this structure NH2 and then benzene ring is what? It is called aniline. Yes or no? Right? So you have to remember that. And I also know that if any substitution happens, right, NH2 is there, so this spot is called ortho, this spot is meta, this spot is para, right? So O stands for what? Ortho, M stands for meta, and P stands for para, right? Now if I do some question, so NH2 and this shape is given, so I can say this one will be M chloro, right? You already know the name, but what is the shape of this one? What is the name of this whole shape? You know this, right? So that will be what? That will be aniline, right? If I give another question, suppose I am giving NH2 and I am giving here OCH3, so this one name is what? Methoxy, but it is at para position, so this is para methoxy aniline, right? Now let me give another question. Suppose I am giving this one Cl at para position and OCH2 and CH3 at Cl at ortho position and OCH2 CH3 at para position. Then how we will name it? So this one alphabetically comes first, chloro, and this is ethoxy, E, right? So I will write ortho, chloro, and then para ethoxy aniline, right? I hope it's clear. So this is type 1, where we'll be specifically using aniline. Okay, now what about type 2 in common name of aniline, like aromatic amine? Under type 2 you have to remember this. Okay, this is a note point. Suppose this part is given, this is also, this is what? Aniline, right? But let's say on nitrogen there is one alkyl present, so obviously one of the hydrogen will be removed, but this part, this one is also called aniline. Is that clear? Ignoring the R part. So basically I have removed this R, so this is also aniline. And let's say that one nitrogen is there that does not have any hydrogen, and this is also aniline. Is that clear? Okay, now why I have removed this hydrogen? Because on this spot alkyl will be bonded. Okay, so when in common name, when alkyl group is directly bonded to nitrogen atom of amine, then position is shown by N. Now what is the meaning of this? Let me give one example. Suppose I am giving this CH3 CH2 and then NH, and then this benzene ring is given. Okay, so I know that this part is my aniline, so let me write that, but there is one side chain, right? CH2 CH3, so this is ethyl or not? But since it is directly bonded to nitrogen, so I will write N-ethyl aniline. Okay, let's give another variety. So suppose I am giving you CH3 NH, CH2 CH2 and CH3, and this benzene ring is given. So definitely here also I know that this is my aniline part, right? So I'll write here aniline, but here two side chains are there. So this one is methyl, this one is propyl. So M comes first, right? So I will write here N methyl, okay, and then I will again give a dash. Here N is signifying the position, okay, just like ortho meta para, and N propyl. and this one I have written in alphabetical arrangement. Okay, methyl comes first, M comes first, and then propyl, right? Yes or no? So that's the name. Now how about one compound where both the alkyls are same? Then what you will do? Suppose I am giving CH3 CH2 2 times nitrogen and something like this. If this is the question, so definitely this same question it can be written in this form also, right? And this is benzene ring. So this part and this part both are same, so whenever repetition we have to use di, but here we have to specify the position also, so N. But since there are two side chains, I have to write this N 2 times, then I will write di ethyl aniline. Okay, so these are the different ways of writing common name of aromatic amine. Okay, with this we are done with the common name part. Now we will do IUPAC name of amines. So the heading is IUPAC name of aliphatic amine. Here also two categories. Okay, IUPAC name of aliphatic amine. So basically here what will happen, so you know that in amine there can be 1 R, there can be 3 R's also, right? Means 3 alkyl. So which one will be considered parent chain? So always remember the alkyl that has longest continuous carbon atom is considered parent chain. So suppose if I give one example, CH3 CH2 and NH2, right? So here only one alkyl is given, so this alkyl itself will be the parent chain. Now if I give here CH3 CH2 CH2 and then this N and CH3, and here you have CH2 and CH3, right? Now if you look carefully, here you have 3 parts. This part has how many carbon? You have 3 carbon, right? This one has how many continuous carbon? 1 carbon, and this one has 2 carbon. Yes or no? So this one will behave as parent chain, this one will behave as side chain, and this one will behave as side chain. Okay, clear? Now if I give this example, last example, CH3 CH2 CH and CH3, okay, and here you have NH CH2 CH3. So which one will be my parent chain? So if you look carefully, this is continuous carbon or not, right? So 4 carbons, and this one is how many carbon? 2 carbon. So this alkyl, whole alkyl will behave as side chain, and this one will behave as parent chain. Okay, got it? Now how to name it? Here also you have to follow this rule, okay, but before that you have to know the priority order. Like we will be discussing, we'll be doing the IUPAC naming of this aliphatic amine in 3 parts. Okay, so let's do type 1. Okay. So in type 1 only 1 degree amine is used. So what's the general name, general way of writing the name? So you have to write side chain name, then word root plus ANE ENE YNE, and lastly you have this amine. And you know that whenever AEIOU is used, this E will be cancelled. Yes or no? Because that was the rule, right? ANE ENE and YNE, the rule is A E I O U and Y. If these letters are there, then this E will be cancelled, right? Now let's try to name this. Suppose I am giving CH3 CH double bond CH and then NH2. So obviously I will be marking this one, then 1 2 3. Why 1 2 3? Because numbering will be done with respect to functional group. Multiple bond is there, but functional group is more priority, right? It has more priority. So what will be the name of this one? So here no side chain, so it will be prop n and then amine, right? Okay. Now if I give another question, let's add one side chain also here. CH2 double bond CH, then CH and Cl, CH2 and NH2. Okay, so here I know that this is my longest parent chain. I have multiple bond this side and I have functional group this side, so obviously I'll be considering functional group, right? So I'll start numbering from here 1 2 3 and 4, right? So what will be the name of this one? So this is my side chain and its name is chloro, so 2 chloro, and then you have but, and at between third and fourth position you have double bond, so you have to specify the number also. So here we always take the lower number, 2 in, right, and then amine. Yes. Okay, now let's try another question. Suppose I am giving you this one, CH3 C, CH3 NH2 CH2 CH double bond CH2. Okay, so this will be my longest parent chain. So I'll specify from which direction I should start. I should start the numbering from here 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, so I have one side chain also, this one. What will be the name of this side chain? So 2 methyl, and then what I can write, pent. At fourth position I have double bond, so 2 en. But here functional group is not in first position. Okay, so if it is not in first position, you have to specify the position also, 2 amine, because that functional group is present at second position. Is that clear? I hope it's clear, right? Okay, so this is how we name IUPAC naming of type 1 amine. Okay, so it's mainly for primary amine because on nitrogen there is no other substitution. Now let's try to do the IUPAC name of type 2. There is no such type 1 and type 2. Just for simplicity I have divided into 3 types. Okay, now let's say I'm giving you this one, CH3 CH2 and CH CH3, then NH, and then CH2 and CH3. Okay, so here I will be using 2 degree and 3 degree amines. Okay, 2 degree and 3 degree amines. Now why it is so like slightly different? Because here you can see that if you focus, if you pay attention to this question, Asha, let's change this question a little bit. Let's write CH and then Cl. So if you pay attention, this is my longest parent chain, right? So I have side chain, this is my side chain, but I have another side chain, this is also my side chain. These two side chains are different. Okay, why? Because one side chain is connected to parent chain, that Cl is connected to parent chain, right? But another side chain is connected to what? Is bonded to nitrogen. So always remember, side chain bonded to nitrogen, comma, position is mentioned by capital N. Alright, so now here if you name it, let's first write the parent chain name, okay, and then we'll think about the side chains. So I'll start the numbering from here 1 2 3 and 4. So here it will be but N, but at second position you have amine, so you will write at second position. Yes or no? Butane 2 amine. Now if you look carefully, here 2 side chains are there. So whenever side chain, more than one side chain is given, you have to name it or you have to arrange it in alphabetical order. So this one is chloro or not? So C. And this one is ethyl. So which one alphabetically comes first? Chloro. So I will write here 3 chloro, and then for this ethyl, since it's bonded to N, instead of number I will be specifying N, and then I will write N ethyl butane 2 amine. Okay, Let's try another question. So suppose I'm giving you this one, say CH3 and then CH, one benzene ring is given, then CH2, then NCH3 and CH3. So whenever this phenyl group is behaving as side chain in IUPAC, right, what will be the name? The name is phenyl, yes or no? You will name it as phenyl group, right? So now I know that this is my longest parent chain, so this is also side chain, this one is also side chain, and this one is also side chain. So I'll start numbering from here 1, 2 and 3 because this nitrogen is the functional group, right? So let's write the parent chain name, means I'm talking about this one. So meth, eth, propane, prop, N, amine. Done. Now we'll write side chain. So one is phenyl, that stands for P, and the other two are identical, methyl. So M comes first. So what I will write? Methyl. But whenever functional side chains are same, then we can write it together. But for repetition, you have to use dimethyl. Yes or no? But here I have to specify 2 times N because here 2 side chains are there. So whenever any identical side chains will be given, then what you have to do for identical side chain, you write them together with repetition, and along with that you specify their position also. And then at second position you have what? Phenyl. At second position you have phenyl, and lastly you have propane amine. Understood? I hope you understood this, right? Now this aniline part is done. Next one, we'll do last question based on this. Suppose I am giving you CH3, CH double one, CH, CH, CH3, then N, C2H5 and CH3. Suppose this is the thing given. So C2H5 is what? C2H5 is ethyl, right? And if you select this, so this is my longest parent chain, and I will start the numbering from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, right? So it will be pent 3 in 2 amine, yes or no? And then ethyl comes first, and then methyl comes first, comes after E. So I will write N ethyl and then N methyl, right? Okay, so with this we are done with the aromatic naming of amine. Okay, aliphatic amine. Now we will do aromatic naming of, IPC naming of aromatic amine. So now the last portion, last topic for today is aromatic naming of aryl amine. Okay, now what aromatic naming, what thing I am reading? It's IUPAC naming of aryl amine, or also called aromatic amine. Okay, now for that you have to remember this. Now here also like aromatic naming is similar to common name, okay, exactly similar to common name. The only difference is we will be using 1, 2, 3 to specify the positions, okay. Especially like in place of ortho, meta, para, we'll be using 1 2 3, but for substitution in nitrogen part it will be similar, okay, similar to the common naming part. So let's here also we divide this into two types, so type 1 and type 2. So under type 1 NH2 is given, this one is what, I know that this is aniline, right? But in common name we can use aniline, and in IUPAC name also we can use this aniline name, but in IUPAC we can also use this name, benzene amine. Okay, actually this name is something like this, benzene, right, and then amine is used, but since A is used so E will be cancelled, so that's how the name benzene amine we get. Okay, so either you use aniline or benzene amine, both are same thing. So let's try this question. Suppose I'm giving this substitution here, Cl. So, and you know that if you're using this special name, right, if you're using this special name, that aniline name, then always remember numbering will start from this carbon. Yes or no? Right, so if you specify it's 1 2 and 3, right, so at third position 3 fluoro and then aniline. So if you notice this carefully, this one is similar to common name, okay, the only difference is in place of 3 in common name you would have written meta, right? So now if I give you this one NH2, so let's say Cl is given, OCH2 and CH3 is given, and then Br is given. So tell me from which direction you will start the numbering. I'll start the numbering from here, 1 2 3 4 5 6, because if you use the other side you will get higher number position side chain, right? Now as you know this one is aniline, no doubt, right, but whatever side chain, you know that if there is more than one side chain we write it in alphabetical order. So how to name it? So we'll be using the names B, bromo, chloro, and then ethoxy. Alphabetically bromo comes first, so I will write 2 bromo. Then what I will write? I will write 5 chloro, right, and then lastly we will write what? We will write 4 ethoxy, and then we will write aniline. Yes or no? This one is chloro, okay, this one is chlorine. Okay, understood? Very simple, right? Same, okay, it's just the only difference is we use ortho meta para. Now under type 2 what will happen? Same concept that we have studied in common naming part. So obviously you know that this one N, this is benzene, right? Or if they give you this one, or if they give you this one, right, all the three compounds name will be aniline or benzene amine. Right, not E, just wait, it will not be E, and you should write this together, okay, but whatever the positions of alkyl that are present on nitrogen we will just write N, okay. So if I do one question, so CH3 CH2 NH, and then this one is given, right? So what will be the name? This is ethyl or not, right? So I'll write N ethyl and then aniline. Okay, now if this is the question given, CH3 N and then CH2 CH3, then how you will name it? So this one will be ethyl will come first because this is ethyl, and this one is methyl, right? So N ethyl, then N methyl aniline. Okay, N ethyl and methyl aniline. Have you understood this? Okay, now let me give one question that involves the mixture of both 1 degree and 2 degree. Okay, so suppose I am giving you this question. Suppose the Cl is used. So here two side chains are there, right? So obviously since I am using this special naming, so I have to start numbering from here, from the starting carbon, right? This one, 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? So I know that this is my chloro C, this is methyl M, then this is my ethyl E. So which one alphabetically come first? Chloro. So I'll write 3 chloro, then E comes first, right? So here I will write N ethyl, and then 4 methyl, right? Aniline. Again I am saying in place of aniline you can write benzene amine also, like this same name you can write 3 chloro and ethyl, then 4 methyl, you can write benzene amine. Okay, same stuff. Okay, let me write this benzene amine below so that it will be clear to you. Alright, now with this we are done with the IUPAC name and common name of this amine chapter. Okay, right? So you go through this. In our next class we'll do the MTG questions. Chalo. Thank you for today's class.